All right, so this is 7.1 notes in a nutshell. Okay? N is going to equal the number of sides. All right, S is going to equal the sum of all integers. Okay? So the first formula you're going to have is S equals 180 times N minus 2. And what that's going to do is every single time I use it, it's going to tell me no matter how many sides that stupid thing has, how many degrees are inside of it. Okay? Now, some of the names that you'll see are like nonagon, N-O-N-A-G-O-N. That's in one of the problems. It means 9. Okay? The number system we use is Arabic, and we take a lot of the names from Greek and Latin. Okay? So if you're like reading it, like HEPA filter, but that really doesn't count. But it's 7. All right? Octo. Y'all don't remember Octo Mom? She literally had a litter of babies. She had 8 babies at once. I'm sorry, if you have more babies in a single time than a chihuahua, we have problems. But she's a legit person. Like, she was in the news a lot when I was younger, but I want to say she's got to be in her 40s now. I want to say it was like early 2000s when she did it, because anytime I would talk about octagons, they were like, oh yeah, like Octomom. Yeah, that's kind of where the octa came from. All right, so that's one of your formulas. The other formula you're going to have has to do with regular polygons. So R is the measure Okay, now the part that's really important is this whole thing of being regular. Okay, regular angles are, or regular polygons mean congruent angles and congruent sides. I did too many E's on my sides, but whatever. All right, so think in terms of an equilateral triangle. Like we did equilateral triangles, but now we're going to do more than 3 sides. Okay? So, our formula for that is going to look like this. Okay? It is R equals all right. The last one is talking about exterior angles for a polygon. No matter how many sides a polygon has, 3, 6, 100, 1,000,000, it doesn't matter. The sum of all of the exterior angles is going to equal 360. Okay? Now, if you're just trying to figure out, okay, I got a 10-sided polygon, so a decagon. What is a single exterior angle? The formula for that is going to be (360) divided by n, and that will give you just one of those exterior angles. Alright, now I'm going to put it specifically for a regular polygon. And the reason I'm putting that is because, yeah, the sum might be 360 no matter what. But if you're just trying to find a single exterior angle, that formula only works if it's regular. Okay? So, 7.1 notes done in 4 minutes. Alright. We're ready to do some problems. What do we want to do? Evens, odds? Someone pick. It is. Alright, so I tend to underline or highlight a lot because it'll tell me kind of what formulas I need to use. For number 2, it says, what's the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a 25 cone? So, what's the 25? Bless you. Yeah. So for this one, I have n equals 25. Tell me the sum of the rest of it. All right, so which formula am I going to use? Guys, which formula? I highly recommend using my calculators because it's going to get rough here in a minute with like adding, and your iPhone calculators are going to make you want to cry. So go grab a nice fancy. So all you're doing is you're plugging in 25 for n in that first formula. So what did y'all get? 4,000. Alright. And you'll notice on Google Classroom, I already uploaded all of the answers for all of the worksheets for this unit. So you guys can go through and check. Alright. How do we go on that one? Okay? 4140, everyone got it? Anybody struggling with the buttons on the calculator? Alright, number 4. We need to do the tennis ball thing. Someone read me number 4. Aaron, go for it. So what do you think is important about that? Okay. Regular. Alright, so if it's regular, it's telling you which formula. S, R, or E? R. Okay. So, I need to plug in the 16. Now, when you go to do that, it updates randomly, which is kind of nice. I think you are. So I'm going to show you guys just to make sure we're entering it in the calculator correctly. Because there is a way to do that entire formula in one swoop. Alright, you guys ready for some magic? Watch what I do. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. Alpha, y equals See this n divided by d? It gives you the fraction. So you can literally type in 180 times. It's a 16-sided polygon, n minus 2, over 16. Now, gives me a fraction. I don't really know what that is, right? So what you can hit is math. See the fraction? That takes whatever answer you got and it spits it out as a fraction. See the decimal? What do you think that does? Spits it out as a decimal. Okay? Pretty spiffy. I don't know why. I like typing it in that way because then I don't have to worry so much about order of operations because I know the calculator, once it sees it in that format, I'm good. All right, so 157.5. We okay with that for number 4? And I would write on the side or somewhere like, okay, I did 180. So I knew what I typed into the calculator. I would just do like full hit. Ready for number 6? Marin, who do you want to pick? Who wants to read number 6? All right, Nick. Yeah, just read it. Okay, so what's important? Regular and exterior. So which formula am I going to use? But this is interior. Exterior is always going to be 360 divided by the number of sides. Okay. So I have 360 divided by 30. 12. All right, let's go next for number 8. Someone read me number 8. Who hasn't gone yet? Go for it, Logan. Okay, so what's important? All right, so there's a couple of different ways you can handle this. But first we got to figure out which formula we need to use. S, R, or E. I would go R because they tell you it's a regular polygon. All right, so I know 170 equals 180 times n minus 2 all over n, right? So the question becomes, do you want to solve it by hand or do you want to guess and check on the calculator? I don't know about you, but I don't, like I could sit here and guess and check, but I don't want to. Which one would you rather see? Work it out? Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I have 170 equals 180 n minus 2 all over 10. And I'm going to write this as 170 over 1. Right. Anybody need like scratch paper so they can kind of have this? Or like a giant sticky note? Because I got giant sticky notes. Sticky note. Stickies? Anybody else? There we go. Alright, so does this look like Unit 6 stuff? You know, the crap we did 2020, December, proportions, cross multiplying. Now it's coming back to us. So the reason I wrote it over 1 is because I can still cross multiply. Because 1 times all this stuff, nothing changes. Alright? How would you guys solve it? Distributive property. Alright? So I've got 180 n minus 360. And it's going to be negative, and that's okay. Because this is just negative 10n. Because if both sides are negative, n is going to be a positive. Alright? That's okay. You should still get 36. Better? Make way more sense now? Kinda, sorta? So, go all the way back down here to number 8. And equals 36. Keep going. Alright, who wants to read number 10 for me? Alrighty. So what's important out of that? What do you think is important out of that? Okay. Are you talking interior or exterior? Interior. And they tell me this is the sum for interior. Actually, I'm going to do this. That's what it's called. Sum, interior. Did they mention anything about it being regular? No. So, it's not this one, and it's not this one. So it's got to be this. Alright? So, n equals, I don't know, sum equals 5,400. So, 5,400 equals 180 times n minus 2. How many of you are like, I just want to divide? Want to distribute and do all that jazz? I'll give you a minute. It's all right. How's it going? What do we get? 33? 32? Yes? No? We in agreement? Alright, I think 12 starts on the next page, or is it still on this page? We're still on this page. How do we do what? You got it. 30. So when I do it, I do 5,400 divided by 180, and that gives you 30. The problem is you didn't add the 2 back. Remember, it's n minus 2. Well, I guess we can't really read number 12. Well, what do you guys think you want to do for me? Count. 1:32. So I got 20 minutes. We're almost halfway done. The front's got the bulk of the questions. The back's only got 6. So. All right. When it comes to counting the sides, I struggle with counting the sides because I always forget where I started and where I stopped. So I always label them with letters. So how many vertices does it have? 5. So it should also have 5 sides. Yes? Alright, so we know n equals 5. What should the sum for that be? Yeah. So, funny side note. Teaching kids pentagons. One of the kids was like, oh, is that why they named the Pentagon the Pentagon? Because it's literally a pentagon? And I'm like, yeah? And mind you, this was years ago. But I was like, bro, really? Like, yeah. You're like naming a triangle building. Like, yeah. It's literally a regular pentagon. Alright, so if I know all 5 of these need to add up to being 540, I'm going to say 540 equals 87 plus 10. Add them all up software. That's exactly how you do it. Do you think this is enough work to show me? Not a problem. Yeah, this is, you can do it straight up in the calculator. Like, I just need to know, like, where you started, and we're okay. This one that we did earlier, in purple, you would have to show me this formula, and then either tell me guess or check, or show me the work to go with it. Because that's really the only other ways to solve it. There's that. Alright. 14. How many of you are looking at 14 in that craft book? Let's be honest. It'd be a little scary. What'd you say next? What'd you say? It's a massive combined like terms problem. That's exactly right. It's combining like terms on steroids. Okay? So, I want you guys to think in terms of how many little vertices would I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So if n equals 7, what's that sum gotta be? What's that? Heptagon? 900? So, here's what you can do. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. I know all of these have to equal 900. You can go through and go, okay, 6x, 4x, 3x, 5x, 7x. 10, 20, 5. Alright, did you guys see how I did that? All I did was I went 6x plus 4x is 10x, 3x plus 7x is another 10x, and then 20x plus my last 5. So this is 25x. Now, for this last part, all calculator. 135 minus 4 minus 64 plus 120 minus 8 plus 15 plus 31. I want to say it's like 225. I just did this one last period and the kid wrote 224. I'm like, that's why you're getting a decimal. But it should be 225. But does that kind of make sense as to how I did it? So instead of writing this massive string of 900 equals 135 plus 5x minus 4 plus 7x minus 64, and then you start crying when you hit like the third or fourth one, like, oh my god, I gotta combine all this. Like, I don't care. Where everybody panics when they get this long list, if you start here, because you know you gotta combine like terms, it ain't so bad. All right, you want to finish this one real quick? Still doing all right. Like, even if you got them set up for when you got home, save yourself that. Alright, what did we get? 27? Yes, no? Ready for 16? No. Dude, we're almost half done with your homework, and you're almost out of class. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So n equals 6. So what's that sum gotta equal? 720. Is this much different than 14? So I'm going to write it out the long way. Bless you? Oh. That's normally how I sound when I'm trying to hold a sneeze in. You have to be really careful. Like, don't hold a sneeze in. Sorry, people listening to this recording. I can't remember if it was my dad or one of my dad's friends. He, like, tried to hold in a sneeze. So you have sinus cavities here and here. But he built up too much pressure, and he, like, popped the sinus cavities up here on his forehead. So his forehead, like, bulged out like a beluga whale. Plug your nose and swallow 3 times without eating one. That's the only way I can do it in my head. Alright. So plug your nose or the peanut butter. I've heard pickled cheese. I've heard all kinds of stupid stuff. But the plugging your nose and trying to swallow your air is the only way to do it. Alright. See how scary that looks? Remember how we did it on 14, where it was far less scary? You can do it the same way on this. Alright. 9x, 5x, 7x, 14, so 21x. And then you'll have to use a calculator for this, and this, and this, and this, and this. cabinet on my calculator. Think so? Yep, 3 times. Subtract those. So 3 times 9 equals 24x. Am I done though? What do I need to do? Angle V. So now I gotta plug it in here. What was it? 103. Alright, last one. 18. Think about it this way. Even if you went home and you didn't do your homework tonight, if you turned it in the way it is right now, you've got half of it done. You have a 50%. So I swear to God, anybody who doesn't turn in their homework, I'm going to throw something. Look at that. I will use it. Your homework is half done. Turn it. Yeah. These are all exterior angles, right? So I know they all have to equal 360 degrees. It does not matter how many stinking exterior angles I see. They all add up. The combined crap? 15 and 9 makes it 24. I got x is 16. What do you guys think? You got 384 equals 24x. Because you're subtracting a 24. See how it's negative? Okay. You gotta add it. This is why, like, at least with some work, I can figure out, like, where crap might have gone wrong. Look at it for a little while. Alright, so I know x is 16, but I really need to figure out what BCA is. So BCA, that's right here. It is an interior angle. So, can I plug in the 16 right here? And I would get 160 minus 37 on 23. So that's this one. If that one's 123 on the outside, what's that interior one gotta be? Math? 57. You're done.